everybody, welcome on in. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. I know I certainly am now that I'm home from work. I'm just going to take a quick swig of my drink there, and we're going to just wait for a few minutes whilst everybody comes in, so I'm going to say a few hellos. So hello Simon, hello Ords, I hope you're doing well my lovely, thank you for stopping in. And hello Emma, I hope you're well my lovely. Corinne! Yay! Welcome on in, my sweet pea. How are you doing? Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. Oh. I just need to angle that off a bit better because apparently it's not... There we go. I'm so glad you're here, Corinne. It's so lovely to see you. I hope you're well because I haven't spoken to you in a little while. So lots of loves to you and lots of love to everybody in the chat. I hope we are all doing well. Oh, you've just woken up. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless. Wow. I'm sure you'll all be excited to... Oh, see, look, it's sneaking in. We got something sneaking in from the side. A little something sneaking in. Oh. Oh, I wonder what this is. That's no problem. Don't you worry, Ords. I'm just glad that you're here at all. And remember, it's always available to watch back after. So this is the little sample that I made. Unfortunately, I didn't get to finish it. So it is a little bit unfinished. Who's sneaking in? It was my card that was sneaking in from the side. Welcome on in. Welcome on into Pam. Welcome on into our lovely Stamper girl, my lovely sister from another mister. Our lovely Gloria, welcome on in. Olga, hello, I hope you're doing well, my lovely. And I've made this lovely, I don't even know what it's called. I just wanted to make it because it looked really cute and pretty. And we know I'm all about that cute, pretty vibe at the moment. So... I've literally, this was shown to me by, well, I think it was shown to everybody by the lovely Michelle McCarthy. She did a similar card with Crafter's Companion before she left. So this is kind of inspired by that. And yeah, I did some lovely decorations on this side. Can you, a book fold easel card. We'll go with that. I'll take that, Pam. It's a book fold easel card. I like that. And I really like how it turned out as well. I should have put a few more of these hearts and hands on here. But unfortunately, I did run out of time. But the one that we make is going to be much better. And it's going to be really, really cute and cool. So, we're going to start. So, Craft by Jay, welcome on in, my friend. I hope you are well. So, we're going to start with a piece of A4 black card, and you want 2 of these to start with, and you're going to cut them down to 8 inches by 6 inches. So, oh, there's not going to be loads of maths involved, just a little bit. So you do need 2 sheets of 8 by 6 card, and you'll want 1 for the base and 1 for the book fold. There we go. And I'm just doing that gently because I don't want to ruin my I don't want to ruin my cutting blade because I've gone through so many where I've just literally just gone so, and they break really, really quickly. And what I did just before the live, which I managed to pre-prepare, so that was my second piece of 8 by 6, and you can see here that on this second part I scored it at 2 inches, and then from that top, the top end of the 2-inch mark, I lined it up. So I'll show you exactly what I did on my oh dear, can you see my shirt? Oh, I didn't think anybody would see it. So I scored just along here on the 2-inch line. And because I've put the centre inch mark on my scoreboard in a black ink, I just lined it up from that top corner down to that bottom corner, and I scored straight across, so it gives me that diamond look in the middle there. All I can see is blue shoulders. That's brilliant. My shirt is a little bit risque, shall we say? So we're not. I'm not up for showing it off. So, and then all I did was fold and burnish those, and you'll end up with something that looks a little bit like half of a paper hat. And what you would do then is, if we keep an eye on the bottom of the video. No, I'm just going to come in with some of my construction glue because it's my favourite kind of glue for this, because it gives you that manoeuvrability and it also gives you a really, really strong hold. Well, come on. Oh gosh, it's Dawn. It's Dawn. Yes, it's Dawn. I remember. Because we've had so many new friends coming in recently, my poor little brain is like, who is it? And I'm so glad that we've got loads of new friends. It's so super cool. So, we have a card that folds something a little bit like that. Hi, Dawn! So I'm just going to set that to the side to kind of, well, mostly just dry a bit, because we don't want to be doing anything too heavy on it whilst it's still wet. So I'm going to bring in some of my papiers, and I'm using the Colour Your World pad from Crafter's Companion because it's fabulous, it's gay, well, it might as well be gay, and I love it. So, and I'm just selecting this piece. And if I believe correctly, I should have, just before I go into, and I'm also selecting, because I've got a bit of an offcut, I'm going to use that piece with it as well. So, all I'm going to do is cut this down to, where was I? So it's 5 3/4. And I want it to be a 5 3/4 square. So 5 3/4. Oh, what's happened there? There we go. 5 3/4. There should be a drag queen paper pad. There should be. Oh my god, I'd love a drag queen paper pad. I think that would be so freaking cool. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome on in, my lovely. I hope you are doing well. So that's the first part of our first piece of our paper trimmed to the correct size. So that's a 5 3/4 square, and because I have this little offcut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to put a matten layer on this part. So when we put this together, we're going to have that one there, in there. And then we're going to have this on here. So I'm just going to move that one out to the side. And I'm going to cut this into a 5 3/4. Yep, I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4. And then I'm going to cut that down to 1 3/4, going along the side just there. I'm very well, thank you, Stephanie, and I'm glad to hear that you are well. Mind you, I'm so bad at makeup that it almost look like anyways when I do makeup. Okay, I do. Oh, I want someone to do me a drag queen face. I could do you a drag queen face. Full of my face, RuPaul, Angelina Paris, Van Michaels, Jinx Monsoon. Oh my god, Jinx Monsoon. I love Jinx Monsoon. Welcome on in, Rhonda. How are you doing, my lovely? I hope you are well today. I know you've been having a little bit of a rough time of things recently, so I really do hope that you are well. So I'm just going to start matting and layering. So I'm going to do my inside. I'm going to do the base and the inside first. And I'm using my Collal glue because it is the strongest really, and it also gives me that time to wiggle it about if I need to. And that is Absolutely brilliant. Wiggle room when doing mats and layers is absolutely fabulous. So there we go. I'm just going to pop that down on there for now. And I'm just going to spin it around and line it up. And it should look something really... Oh, you're creating whilst watching. What are you creating, Dawn? I'd love to know. And so there we go. We have that lovely start to our card. Doesn't that just look so cute? I really do love how that's come along. I really, really do. It's I think it's much better than the first one that I made. But then I always find that no matter what I do, the second card is always better than the first one that I make. So I can't really say like too much about it because it always happens. Right. And I'm just going to see which paper... Oh, let's use this one. I think this will look really, really cool going across here. So when we're done, this should match up and go right across with a bit of luck and a fair breeze. So what I'm going to do first is exactly the same as what I did with the one that we put on the base there. The base buttery biscuit base. I'm just going to cut it down to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'm almost done with my Cheetos. Oh, Cheetos. The thing is, though, is that as much as I love American snacks, they really do play havoc with my body because I don't know if it's because they're so heavily processed or what, but it just, I love eating them, but it really does not love me when I vet them. So all I'm going to do now is just from point to point on my paper trimmer. I've just lined it up on a point-to-point side angle like that. And that should give us 2 perfect mats that should match up and look really, really cool. I'm hoping. There's a lot of hope going into this, guys. A lot of hope. So I'm just going to mat and layer. I'm just going to mat and layer. I'm just going to stick these down. We're doing... Oh, grief. It's been a bit of a long day. I can't lie. Yeah, work was a bit of a difficult one today. I can't... It really, really was. And let's just line that up. There we go. There we are. And I'm just going to stick the other one down. The levels of concentration that have to go into this. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear it, Simon, that you've had a hard day at work. It's never fun when you have a hard day at work. I got out late this evening as well, so it's never good when you get out of work late. Especially when it's because other people can't be bothered to do their work. But that's neither here nor there. This is not Gazzy's ranty session. This is Gazzy's crafty session, which makes things betterer. There we go. I really love how that goes. Oh, wow. How cool is that, guys? I'm really loving that. I'm loving that so much. Oh! It just looks so cute. Gosh darn it. I didn't even... Right, that's it. Okay, card's done. See you all on the next one. Oh. I am loving how that's turned out. Right, I'm just going to pop that to the side a minute whilst I regain myself. I'm just going to have a quick swig of my drink. Oh, there we go. That feels a bit better. And I'm going to bring in some of my watercolour cardstock because we're about to do some die cutting. And we're using My Favourite Things in the Name of Love set. Now, this came out last year. It's a really nice set and I really enjoy... This is the first time that I've really gotten around to actually getting it out and using it because, you know, I have so much stuff. It's silly. So what I was thinking of doing for this one, because we did... Go back over there. Because it really doesn't want to listen to me today, does it? Can we just, like, not? Right, because we did these lovely hands. I was thinking of doing that again, actually, because those are really quite effective. And I really like how it sits behind the Pride is for Everyone stamp. So I was thinking of doing that. Or maybe we could even do... we could do the peace sign ones. That would be pretty cool. I think those would look pretty good. Or we can have a couple of each. You know what? I'm just going to go with a couple of each. I'm going to have a couple of standy uppy hands, and I'm going to have a couple of peace sign hands. Now I want to make sure I maximise my cardstock because I don't want to run out too quickly. So let's just see where I've put my my high tack low tack tape, or my low tack high tack tape. One of the two. It's definitely going to be one of the two. Let's just catch up on some of the chat. Oh, that's awesome, Gaz. Wow. Oh, thank you, guys. As soon as a neighbour gardener leaves, so are my pants. Oh, I can't believe I actually read that out. I'm just so hot my AC can't keep up. Rhonda, but better she said better than if she said the gardener's the neighbour's gardener. I just got here, so she's taken off her pants. Oh my gosh, just put a cold pack on the back of your neck. Yes, do that, girl. Do that. You'll be better off. Right, let's just run that through the old die cutting machine. And we're going to have a couple each of those. And I'm just going to pop those out using my pokey tool because I know where it is today. It's a lovely 71 here, yet clammy and cloudy. Ooh. I don't know what 71 is in English, but I imagine that's quite warm. There we go, let's do it like that. I didn't realise I'd actually already used the back of that, but it doesn't matter. How hot does it get on the Isle of Wight in the summer? Well, I can tell you, we have had it up to 27, 28 degrees here. It really does get very warm, and especially during... We had a scorcher a couple of years ago when I almost literally... Well, I passed out at work, so... It does get very, very hot. I think that year, because we had a proper scorcher, it was 34. But our normal kind of level is about, during the summer, is between 26 and 28. Right, so we've got a couple of those. Let's just pop those back on there because we do not need them anymore. We do not need them. And I should put my low tack, high tack tape down here. And what I was thinking of doing on these as well is because we have these lovely, like, flat die cuts, and we also have the little, like, I don't know how to describe them, but I really like the idea of doing it, so I'm going to. Because I've got loads of these little scraps, right? And I think that these should go to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out as a whole background, and we're going to use some of my black scraps to cut out this one, and it's going to look really, really cool, or at least I think it will anyway, because I'm naughty. Here we go. Let's get in our old die cutting machine. And we're just going to cut a couple of these out as well. What I'm going to do is just kind of try and get everything cut first, and then we'll build it all up and put it all together and see how well it all turns out. So let's just get these die cutted. I really like how that's turned out actually. We're going to do a few more of those. I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3. And I know it's a bit silly as well, but I want the paper to kind of go in different directions because it's going to make it look really, really cool. Oh. That's not what I was thinking it was going to do. Okay. That did something completely obscene to what I thought it was going to do. Not a problem, we can switch it up. Oh, let me just see, because I think I'm losing the chat on the device where I'm actually reading. So I'm getting a little bit behind. I'm sorry, guys. Pam, order is important. How hot? Oh, yeah, how hot does it? Crafty Visage says it's 21 degrees C. That's our lovely Dawn. Gaz, it's 38 in Chicagoland area where myself and Dallas are. Oh, God, you girls are boiling. Really, it's 88 Fahrenheit here in Aurora. It's the low 80s in Fahrenheit, yes. Sometimes it goes to high 80s. Yes, they did, but the driver couldn't find the flat and drove past. Oh, gosh. Wow, it's usually... That's really interesting. Didn't you flag him down? Gaz, I need that set. Yes, you do, girl. No, he found me in the end. The injection box. Oh, gosh. Okay, taking you upstairs. I want to craft too. Yes, craft along, girl. Craft along. I do love it when people craft along. Right, so I'm going to swap that up now. And I'm going to change these around because I'm going to need the back to be the flat. So that needs to be flat. And because I've already cut that, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to try and set it so it cuts like that. I think. Yes, everyone hold on tight whilst Dal takes us upstairs, because knowing her, we could be going anywhere. I'm so naughty. I'm sorry, Dal. There we go. I need the other half of my die cutting kit, so there we go. And we're just going to cut them. And hopefully, oh yes, that's cut lovely. And now, to make this a thing that happens, really I should have used some double-sided sticky sheets or something, some such, but I don't have any, or at least I don't know where they are. I know I do have some somewhere, but I was hoping to do a couple of these, but I don't think it's going to happen because they are going to be quite complicated to put together, aren't they? You know what? I'm not going to do that because that is far too complex for trying to do on this live in my current mental state. So I'm just going to cut pretty flags. We're going to just have pretty flags. I'm really sorry, guys. I wish I could have gone ahead and done that, but it's just a little bit too much for me at the moment. So we're just going to have some pretty flags. Actually, I kind of like how that looks on the other side as well. Can we squeeze another one out of there? I believe we can. Good for you, Gaz, advocating for yourself. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I know it's a bit I'm really sorry. I am sorry. I shouldn't really be like it, but it's it's been a very long day, and I'm back at work again tomorrow. In fact, I'm now back in. Well, I'm at work. I'm so far into a 7-day straight. I can't remember exactly where I am in the 7-day straight, but I know I am so far into 7 days straight, and I'm getting a bit tired, if I'm being honest. So I shall advocate for myself a little bit in this one. I'm so sorry, guys. There we go. And I think, yeah, we'll only want 3 of those. You do you, boo. I will do me. Thank you. I usually do. Carif. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm being so naughty. Right, let's just get rid of that, because that's a lovely, nice little scrap we can have to the side. There we go. Nice little refreshing drinky poo. And I'm kind of thinking we could just use those a little bit like bunting. And how big are those hearts? Oh, those hearts are a little bit big, aren't they? Because it would have been nice to have put the hearts on there. That would have looked really cool going across that side. I'm going to have to come up with something else to put on there, aren't I? Oh, my back really hurts. Let's just pull myself back in and sort myself out. Sorry about that. Yeah, it would have been nice to put those hearts on there, but they're a little bit too big. They're just a little bit. I mean, I don't think that's going to hurt, is it? I'll tell you what. Let's what have I done now? I've not done a piece of scrap. That's fine. I'm going to just stick these down. I'm going to use my Collal all-purpose on this, because it means I've got plenty of time to wiggle them around if I need to. There we go. What about those 2 small hands? Yes, I could actually use those, couldn't I? But those are kind of more for holding on to something with. I think. I'm not sure. I've not actually I only used them on the other card. Oh yeah, I suppose I could use them like they're holding the bunting down. You could put them in like that. Okay, that's a good idea. I shall do that. Let's just die cut those out, and then I shall start colouring some bits. There we are. Oh, come on. I'm just going to move that out of the way a moment whilst we colour in these. So I'm just going to pop those out and pop that over there for now. Has anyone been to a Pride yet this year, or actually ever? I would love to know if you have. And for this skin tone, I'm just going to mix together a little bit of my aqua markers in the desert colour and the fawn colour. And hopefully when I mix those together, it should look very pretty. Hello Jim, welcome on in my friend. How are you doing, sir? I hope you are well. I just really kind of like that tan skin tone that makes. It's really good. At least I think so. Very skin tony. And for this, I'm going to use a little bit of my glue press glue. And then what I'll do is I'll just draw a little line joining them up. There we go. I'll just peel that up a little bit and pop that in there. Oh, that looks so cool! And all I'll do is bring in one of my black art liner pens and I'll just draw a little line between them. And you know what I think I'm going to do? Is I'm going to bring in one of my... Oh, that's a glitter, vivid pink. Right, I'm going to bring in one of my glitter Spectrum Noir glitter pens. Oh my gosh, I can't believe what I'm doing. I'm actually going to freehand now. I'm not very good at freehanding, so this is I really do think I should do it on all three, really, shouldn't I? Let's pronounce that a little bit more, because it does seem a little bit too yeah, I kind of like how that's worked out. Yeah. Ooh, someone wants a little toasty. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that, my lovely. I could really do with a peace sign, couldn't I? That would be nice. I don't know if I want to put love hearts on all three of them, but I would like to do something on all of them, because it would be nice to have them stand out a bit more from the card. There we go. I think actually just by going around the outer edge with this as well, it will make them pop a little bit more. And it will give it that little extra something that I was hoping for. So they don't just look like they're kind of sat there for no real reason. And then if you wanted to, if you were doing this to say like your partner or, you know, someone who you really liked, you could actually put your initials on them. Yes, popping them up would have been a better idea. I think you're quite right there, Rhonda. I should have popped them up. And I will do that next time. But yeah, you could put some nice initials on there, and that would make it quite nice as like a little, you know, showing your love as your pridey love type thing. So I think that's really good. We can always do that another time as well. There we go. Just pop that back on there. And pop that back on there because I don't want those going missing. I don't like it when I lose die cuts. I think the other team should get a new name. The Iron Pigs doesn't sound so friendly. It's based in the major... Oh, wow, cool. That's really cool. Mr. Jim. I really like that though. I do like how that's come out, but Rhonda is very correct. I should have popped them up, but it's fine. So I'm just going to kind of figure out a way of popping these onto the card. We may have to do a little bit of snipperings. I'm not too sure. See, it would have been nice if I could have done like a star with those, because you could do that. But I'm going to put, are you going to put glitter and bling all over the card? Maybe a little bit. I'm trying to be a little less super blingy, because I don't want to... Actually, I think that works quite well. Yeah, that works quite well. Let's paint those up. I know it's the cardinal goes against the cardinal rule of odd numbers, but that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm cheeky and I'm going to get away with it. Right, so let's put down a bit of desert again. And a little bit of chestnut. Because we're going to colour in each hand a different colour. Because I really think that, you know... I'm just trying to be very inclusive with it. Because, you know, the community... the LGBT community is made up of lots of different types of people, and we don't all have the same skin tone. So I think it's really great that I can be like super inclusive with this, because I think that everybody should you know, everybody should be able to feel good about themselves, no matter who they are, where they're from, what they do, who they love, or who they want to be with. I just think that everyone should be happy. And I'm quite, you know, I've kind of always been that person, and I, you know, there are so many different people in the world, no matter who you are, no matter if you're religious, if you're not religious, and I just think we should all, I know it sounds a bit silly and it probably sounds slightly childish, but I think we should all just get on, because we're all on this planet together and we're all stuck here for however long we're stuck here for. And I just think that everyone should just get on. It seems like a little bit of a Miss World answer to things, doesn't it? But I do genuinely believe that everyone should get on, and everybody should just, you know, kind of love each other, even if you don't like someone, or if you have a problem with someone. I know I have a problem with quite a few people, and but if that person turned up on my doorstep and said to me, I've got no food, I've got no money, I've got nowhere to stay, I'd like to believe in myself that I would take that person in, even if it was only for a few days, or just to try and help them get back on their feet, or anything like that. It's just kind of who I am, and I just don't believe that anyone should be kind of like left out and left, because I've been there. I know how it feels, and I know what it's like. It's not the greatest position to be in. So I'm just kind of a bit like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just a bit of a weirdo. If anyone asks me for help, well, it usually is given to whatever degree I can give it, and that is kind of just who I am. I mean, I've got exes that that have done some pretty horrific things to me, and even if they knocked on my door and said, "Look, I'm destitute. I need help. Will you help me?" I would still help them, because you know, you never know when that's going to be you, and having so many, like, I don't know, having had so many kind of experiences in that manner, I just can't let someone else go through it. It just, well, I don't know, it's just strange. I'm a little weirdo. And I know I know personally I can be a right moody madam, and I can be a miserable git, and I can say, oh, so and so, blah 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 blah, gout. I hope she stubs her toe on a door. But at the end of the day, no matter who it would be, I'd like to believe that I'm the kind of person that would still, you know, want to help and try to help and do everything I can to help. It's just kind of who I is. So yeah, there's me bearing my soul on a Friday evening. Right, let's bring the card back in. So I think I've been a little bit inclusive with my skin tones here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line them up like we did before. And I'm going to think of what sentiment we're going to put on this side. So I'm thinking maybe I should actually just go with the pride is for everyone thing again, because I think that was quite effective. And we'll use the scrap of papier. We shall use the scrap of papier. And I'm just going to actually measure that, because I want to put a black backing on it, because that just looked a little bit too plain. I wanted to stand out a little bit this time. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Corinne. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Simon. I certainly do try to have a big heart where people are concerned, because, yeah, I've been there, I've done it. I've got the t-shirt. Right, now if I can get this lid to go back on that glue, that would be grand. Let's just move that out of the way. Get out of the way. Right, let's bring in our lovely, super duper, multi-talented, isn't she lovely, isn't she wonderful, isn't she beautiful, stamping wheel. I absolutely love this thing for most of my stamping, especially sentiments, because she is fabulous at sentiment stamping. Because I don't stamp sentiments, I stamp sentiments. What they said. Oh, thank you, Dawn. So kind of you. Oh, I don't know what's going on with me this evening. I think I'm in one of those strange little places. Right, let's just give that a nice inking up. This evening I'm using Memento Fade Resistant Dye ink. This is quick dry ink, because I don't want it hanging about too long. And I'm just going to stamp that out. And there we go. Actually, that's not really bad for a first impression. I did already prime this. So to prime it, I used my clear embossing ink, stamped it out, and then went back over with my black ink. And it gives it a nice clean stamp. But I always find that even if I just do it twice, it kind of comes out really, really pretty. I really do like it when it comes out when we get a nice clean stamp. So let's just quickly do that. And then all I'm going to do is bring in my... Oh, let's pop that back on there for a moment. Un momento, por favor. I'm just going to bring that in, and let's go to 2 3/4, which is roughly about the same size as the stamp. And I'm going to take that down to 1 and... Oh, is it 1 1/4? It's 1 1/4. I know it's being very, very close with it, but I want to put that that matte layer on there as well. So once it's stamped out and it's been nicely cut, you should have a sentiment panel that is 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. So what we want to do is make our backing at 1 1/2 by 3. And I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece of card, and we're going to go to 1 1/2 by 3. And I do enjoy using up. This stamp and die set is by My Favourite Things, and it's called In the Name of Love. In the name of love, do it all in the name of love. Right, actually, I've cut that incorrectly. I cut it at 1 1/4. I should have cut it at 1 1/2. But I still like how that's turned out. So even though I've only got the little bit down the side there, I think that's more than enough. I think that's quite good. So I'm going to stick this down using my Collal Construction glue. And I do like how it comes out at the sides and not at the top and the bottom, which I think will actually be very, very good for how these are going to sit. So I'm just going to reline up back those lovely rendezvous with their little signers. And we're going to see how well that sits over them this time. So I'm just going to... Oh, I like how that works. Oh, I really like how that works. Right, okay, so I'm going to stick those down where they are. And again, I am going to use my construction on this. I wouldn't normally, but I am going to because I need that wiggly room. Because I'm going to be setting that sentiment on the top. So I want to make sure that these are all going where I want them to be. It works really well. Thank you, Simon. I really appreciate that. I think it works really well too. This is one of my actual favourites that I've done in a while. I shouldn't really... But I've just been kind of going through my stash recently, and I've been looking and I'm like, girl, you have all this stuff and yet you're buying more. Why are you buying more? Welcome back, Jim. I hope you're well. I hope everything's okay. We can disagree without being disagreeable. Okay, well, I didn't realise we were disagreeing. There we go. Let's just pop that down there. Yeah, I think that works quite well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on some foam tape. I'm behind on the conversation because my hands were busy. Oh, okay. I'm not going to ask any further questions. I will accept the fact that your hands were busy, and we shall move swiftly onwards. I am so naughty, I'm so sorry. Right, I'm going to need an extra cut off anyway for the next piece, so... Oh, I don't really need to put any more on there. I think that's quite enough. Quite enough. There we go, and I'm just going to line that up with the edge of the card and stick it down. Oh wow, look how cool that looks stood up. So we've got that on that side stood up, and we've got our lovely hand. Lol, remember I'm crafting, but living in harmony with others, I agree. Oh, brilliant. I'm so glad you do. Because I just think that everyone should... I mean, I know it's difficult to get everybody to get along in, you know, like a friendly way. But, I mean, even if it's just to a level where everyone can say, you know what? I'm me, you're you. That's fine. Let's just live. And just get on with our lives. You do what you've got to do, I'll do what I've got to do, and everything will be fine. That is my kind of like ideal to the situation, would be great. And I really actually would like to use this stamp. I love you no matter who you love. Because I think that is actually quite a powerful statement. Because, you know what? No matter who anybody loves, everybody deserves to be loved. And that's it. A friend of mine in Nashville wrote and put out this song a few years ago around the time the US allowed same-sex marriage. It's still one of my favourites. And it's a good one for Pride Month. Oh... I do love it. I just love love. When I'm not being a cold-hearted witch. I sit here and say I'm a cold-hearted witch, right? And then there's like everyone, they're like, yeah, he just pretends to be a cold-hearted witch, but he really loves people and likes everybody. That may or may not be true, so shh. Actually, I'm going to put that sentiment on there. We're going to need another one to go on our little... Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to put a sentiment on there. On the stand-up part. I think we're just going to have a really nice... Let's just cut that down by 1/4 of an inch. So that is at currently 1.5. I want it at 1 1/4. So just because I want that to be a little bit straighter, because that edge I didn't cut it very well. So 1 1/4. And you know what I'm going to say by 3 1/4. So 1 1/4 by 3 1/4. One 1/4 by 3 1/4. Which then means that this piece of paper is already perfectly designed to match up with the mat layer. And I will just cut that down to 3. So I should just do that. Whoop. And that is cut to... I'll tell you what, actually, I'll take that little extra piece off. I wasn't going to. If I can actually get it to sit and not move when I try to cut it. Can't beat a good flopper stopper. You can't beat a good flopper stopper. I love a good flopper stopper. And you know what? I think on this flopper stopper is where we're going to put a heart. I think that would be really good. I'm going to do a heart die cut and put it on the flopper stopper. So let's just give that a nice little layer of glue. And again, I'm using my construction because it makes it a little bit easier for me just to wiggle it all about, line it up. That is one of the great things about glues like that. I believe it's I can't remember the name of it, but I know what it is. It's a thingy glue, solvent glue. That's it. It's a solvent glue. And I just think that's going to look so pretty. With a nice heart on it. Make the solid heart one colour and the striped heart to go on top in another colour. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, but I'm not sure if I've got the yeah. You know what, I think I have got the inclination for that. I think I do. Gardener is gone. If you know, you know. Oh my god, girl. I don't want to know. And now I know. It's not fair to do that to me. And I'm going to do the heart out of the little dotty bits. And I just hope I can make it all line up and stick down properly. So this is going to be a great test. To see if I can do that. I'm really enjoying making this card. It is really so much fun. And I'm genuinely loving it. And it's not like it's a, well, I don't know, I don't think it was a quick concept that I came up with. Right. Now, how are we going? All it need, no, it does not need gilding flakes, Caroline. Those things are sent from the devil. Gilding flakes are directly from Satan himself. Oh, I've tried sticking that on it the wrong way. Well, that would just be silly of me, wouldn't it? There we go. Oh, let's make that not so drunk, shall we? Oh, I had it right the first time round. I just hadn't pushed it up far enough. There we go. No gilding flakes ever to be used ever. No, thank you. I think I've said this quite a few times before. I have nearly 30 odd pots of gilding flakes, and I only ever opened one. I think I've used them twice. So I've opened one pot twice, and I have never used them since. The first time I didn't use them for nearly I think it was just over a year. I didn't use them, and then I thought, oh, maybe I'm just being a bit hasty, and tried again, and something, because the first time I used them I literally sneezed and they went everywhere, and I just couldn't deal with that. I just couldn't. I was just like, no. And I was finding glitter, like I was finding gilding flakes everywhere, and when I say everywhere I mean everywhere. I was finding glitter flakes, gilding flakes, and I just can't. Just can't. No, thank you. It gets very itchy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's very painful and itchy. And my chat has stopped again. Let's see if I can refresh it. I thought the die had the stripes already in it. So did I, but it doesn't. Oh, I love gilding flakes. That sounds pretty. I'm working on some journal pages. Oh, journal pages are cool. One thing I will be doing as long as it was not gelded. I've never heard of that. But okay, gelded. I don't know. As soon as I get Michelle's paper pads, I will be doing some lives on that. On that. That's. I don't want to say thing because it's not a thing. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to. I'm just going to do that because I can. Where's my pokey tool? I need to get that off before it dries. This is what I get for semi-tidying up behind myself. As soon as I get Michelle's paper pads, I will be making that album that she's currently doing. I will get there in the end, guys. I will get there in the end. Let's just see if we can get that, because I kind of want it to look ripped, but I don't want it to look too ripped. You know what, I think I'm just going to start again on that one. But I have the right idea, I think. Yeah, so it will be, it is something that I've got in the works that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking / planning. It will come together. Right, I'm just going to re-die cut that because I made an absolute pig's ear of it. Right, I'm not going to do the blue side. I'm going to do that kind of goldy, orangey side because I'm going to alternate. I'm going to alternate them, I've decided. That was an idea that I should have had about 20 minutes ago. I'm so naughty. Right, let's get this done. Oh no, she slipped. And now I can't put... Oh. Do you do Christmas in July videos? You know what? I haven't, but I can. I certainly can. And I believe... Oh! I just remembered I'm doing some night shifts in July. So there will be a week where you won't have me at all, unfortunately. But the following week, you'll have me all week. And we can do, during that week where you will have me, is a Christmas in July. I just thought that would be a grand idea, wouldn't it? That would be a belter of an idea. Right, let's just stick that down there. Because we're not doing that one. We're going to skip that one. And we're going to do the tops. There we go. So we will do some Christmas in July stuff. That is not a problem. I've got some amazing Tim Holtz Christmas stuff. And I would like to perfect a Christmas card that I made a few years ago using acetate. And I think it was actually a stonking card even back then. But that was when I just kind of... Because I don't know if any of you guys have actually heard my story or not. But I used to... I've been crafting on and off since I was about 18. I had a massive, massive break of about... Oh gosh, 18 to 30. It's about 20 years I didn't craft. No, actually, it was about 21 I stopped crafting. 21 till 30... Oh, so probably about 10 years I didn't craft. And then when COVID hit, I kind of picked it back up again. And I got all of this, you know, like as you do when you first like start crafting. And I mean, we're talking, I used to craft before die cutting machines existed. All I used to do was like funky foam stuff and things like that, because that's all I had. It was way, way, way back in the day. And we had all of these rubbish stamps, and you know, it was all wooden block stamping and all that kind of stuff. So I was crafting, you know, before even scoreboards were a thing. So it's quite crazy what, you know, we used to be capable of making with such little material. And yeah, I kind of gave up because my ex of the time, he kept all of my crafting materials when we split up. So that was a bit of a bummer. And yeah, back in the 1900s, he kept all of my crafting materials when we split up. So that was a bit of a... And I just kind of gave up because I didn't have any of it. I felt, you know, as you do when you're that young, you feel a bit sorry for yourself because you've lost a load of stuff. And I just lost heart in it. And then I picked it back up when COVID hit. And I went to a charity. So like you guys have in America, you have, oh god, what are they called? You have like what's that name of that company? You have, oh gosh, it's not welfare, is it? I can't remember it. Yeah, but there's a specific one that you have, and I can't remember the name of it. Goodwill. That's the badger. I knew it would come to me eventually. Goodwill. And I went to like a Goodwill sale here in the UK. Because they were hosting it outside because they were desperate for funds, and it was basically, it was Friends of the Animals. So it was for the, you know, for the cats and the dogs and all of that. So I, you know, we went along just having a look, and I end up just casually looking at some of the craft stuff because I was like, oh, I've not seen any of this in years. How amazing is it to see it? And this woman saw me coming. She saw me coming from half a mile away. And for those of you in the UK, you'll know Del Boy. But for you in America, I will say that she was very much like a door-to-door salesman that knew what she was doing. She very much so knew what she was doing when she saw me walking down the road. And back then I wasn't working, so I had very limited money. And the woman just said to me, she was like, oh, you want to take all of this off my hands, don't you? And you know, and you can pay £90 for it, and you can take the lot. And we're talking 6 big fruit crates filled with crafting materials to the brim. Absolutely chocker. And I said, look, I'm really sorry, but I've only got access to about £60. And she just went, sold. Before I knew it, I was dragged into the office paying for this crafting gear that I'd only just looked at a few bits of. Looking back at it now, it just seems so silly. Looking at the few bits of it that I looked at, and I paid for all of this crafting gear for 60 quid, and I got it home, and it took me 5 days to sort through it all. 5 days to sort through it. But eventually I got there, and it was fine. And that's how I got back into basically crafting. And then shortly after that I found Crafter's Companion, and it all just went downhill from there. I ended up buying die cutting machines, hand crank die cutting machines, and then I had a back problem, so I bought an electronic one. I've got my scan and cut, I've got a Cameo, whatever it is, Silhouette Cameo, and I've got all of this stuff in 4 years, and I've spent so much money on it all, and I'm really happy I've got it all, because it's kind of got me down this route. Because if it wasn't for my friend Lise, I would never have done a craft along on Crafter's Companion, and I would never have thought that I could do something like this. So I am just so grateful to, firstly, that woman that basically Del Boyed me into a corner and forced me to buy this crate of crafting gear that I didn't even know if I wanted or not, and to my friend for pushing me into doing craft alongs on Crafter's Companion, because it's changed a lot for me, and you guys have changed a lot for me because it's brought you guys to me. And you know, and like I think I've said it loads of times before, but without you guys there is no me. I'm not here. There's no point in me being here if you guys aren't here. So I'm just so grateful to you all, because you kind of not only kind of like encourage me to craft because I'm doing these videos, but you're the way of me recharging my batteries, and especially from the job that I do, because it is a very high stress job, and in a very tense environment. It's amazing, and I just want to say thank you to all you guys, because you're all blooming brilliant, and I love you all so much. So really, this card is for all of you, because pride is for everyone, and I take a lot of pride because of you guys, and that's just like general pride, never mind the, you know, being proud of who I am. And also, you know, I love you all, and I love you all no matter who you love. And I think this card is just an absolute testament to all the feelings that I'm kind of going through at the moment, because it's been a little bit of a tough time. So thank you all for being there, and you are all fabulous. And we've completed this lovely little pride card, and I just want to say I hope you all take pride in yourselves every single day, and I just want you all to know that if you don't hear it from anyone else today, I love you, because you're all fucking amazing. And I shouldn't swear on my live, but you are all fucking amazing. So thank you all. I'm just going to say, if you do have any crafty questions for me, don't hesitate to give me a shout on handcrafted, askme at handcraftedbygaz.co.uk. If you want to join the Facebook group, at the moment my email, my website is directing to my Facebook whilst it's being built, so you can go to handcraftedbygaz.co.uk, and you will sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. You'll be able to access my Facebook group from there. There are some links in the description box if you do want to support the channel. It's not by any means expected, but thank you. I am very grateful for any support. There are some links where, you know, you go to the website and buy whatever you're going to buy. It gives a little kickback to me, but and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Again, thank you all so much for being here and for putting up with me whilst I'm being a bit emotional today. And I will see you all on the next one. I'm just going to quickly check my my rota, and we'll see when the next one's going to be, because unfortunately I am a little bit strawned by my rota at work at the moment. So we will have another live on Monday, and I think that will be it for that week, because I'm actually at the Isle of Wight Festival for the weekend. So I'll tell you what, I'll do a live Monday and Tuesday, so you guys don't miss out on having a live. And then we will be back on Monday the 24th. I'm off for 2 weeks at that point, so I will be back to my usual schedule, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I will see you all on Monday for the next one. I love you all so very much. Thanks for putting up with my super emotionalisms, and have a wonderful morning, day, evening, wherever you are in the world. I love you lots. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.